You waited all week, and it's finally here. The Eat, Drink, Explore Weekly Travel Deals Extravaganza.
Well, if you put it that way, let's get right to it. Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Randall White. Great to have you here on the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. This is our weekly travel deals segment. No deals this time around. We're just going to talk Sochi because, you know, the 2014 Olympics are coming up, and we have to highlight the place where all that will take place. Our good friend Andrea Sachs with the Washington Post just spent some time there and is fresh off the plane with her perspective of this city in Russia's far south and joins us on the Eat, Drink, Explore live line right now. Hey, Andrea.
Hello, how are you?
Good. So overall...
You have to make,
Yes.
you have to make bad winter puns. Like, she had fresh tracks. And
yeah.
She went for the gold.
I leave that to talented writers like you.
Hack writers. I know. We do our best to entertain ourselves.
I'll tell you what. Typically, I don't really read over Andrea's stuff because when she joins us, we're talking about her deals that she compiled, you know.
The truth comes out. Mm-hmm.
And so this time, there's an actual article that we have to discuss. And so I'm reading over it. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. She is really good. You're a great writer, and we'll put a link on eatdrinkexplore.com to this piece that you have in the Post entitled "Sochi, a Russian City with Olympic Hopes and Dreams." And your overall impression of this city is what?
I have to say this was a challenge, and I'm glad it didn't come out in the story, but I struggled to write it because I feel like I didn't get Sochi.
Oh, really?
And I feel like maybe Sochi doesn't get itself either. I don't know if that's fair to say because I just visited for a week. But I think it's trying so hard to focus on these Olympic hopes and dreams and to reinvent itself that it's losing some of the stuff that I found was fascinating, which is the Soviet era. History.
Right.
So,
well, you say in your piece even that it's building itself an entirely new self from head to toe to soul. So the soul of the city is what you couldn't find, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And people who live there or people even from Russia are saying that they're losing the soul of that city. And it really used to be for the common person. And now it's becoming almost like a Hampton, like they're trying to appeal to the new rich, to the new Russians to come down and have their, high-rise penthouse apartment overlooking the Black Sea and expensive restaurants. And they're sort of losing the essence of the place, which was when during Stalin's days, that's the holiday that they sent the laborers. They sent them down there to have a month of R&R, which I called like the communist-style Canyon Ranch.
Right.
So they put them up for a month.
I saw that.
Said,
and did they call them
and exercise?
They called them sanatoriums. I always thought that was for like if you're cuckoo, but no.
Crazy people.
Yeah, but no.
They call them sanatoriums, and they're beautiful. I mean, they're immense and grand and classical architecture and pools and fountains and beautiful sculptures.
I'm looking at some of the buildings that they have put up for the Olympics. They're massive. It looks like the huge, what would you say, infrastructure project for this city.
Yeah, and it just happened within the 5 or 8 years, which is amazingly fast. And truly, if you stand too long, what you saw 2 seconds ago was totally different. Like streets are being ripped up, and the buses are new, and the bus stops are new, and the apartments are new, and the plants are new, and like everything is new.
You mentioned a Sochi native who was walking and then had to retrace her steps and say, "Wait a minute, there was a building here. Where did it go?"
Yeah, she was stunned. She grew up there, and all of a sudden there was this just empty lot.
Yeah,
there used to be a building.
So a lot of the, not a lot of the focus, but some of the focus approaching these games has been centered on Russia's new anti-gay propaganda law, I guess is what they call it. And you got a chance there to address that and even swing by one of the 2 gay clubs in town.
Yeah, I was really glad to address it because obviously it angers me too that you could have such closed-mindedness. And it was interesting because I think it's similar to the States, although they're a little more regressive. But it depends on who you talk to.
Yeah.
So the photographer I spoke with was so open-minded, and he said, my wife and I go to this drag queen show all the time, and we think everybody should have the same rights that we have as a married couple. But then my interpreter, I don't know if you read that quote, like he wasn't quite there.
Yeah, he said, we're not going to be there this year or next, but someday.
Right. And he wasn't as advanced. And he said, it's fine if they do it behind closed doors, but I don't want my children to see it. And then I got all angry, and this little Russian car as we're driving, and he's trapped in the car with me. And I said, would you say that to, someone who came from Africa? Would you say that, with a different color skin?
Yeah.
It's not right. And then we sort of stopped talking.
Uh-oh.
But I would, no, it's okay. I was paying him, so he had to talk to me.
Right. Hey, is everybody there named Andre?
It makes it easy, yeah, Andre.
And you're Andrea, so
yeah,
you're like,
yeah. We never confused each other. It was great.
Was there?
No, I just wanted to say, as you said, it was important that I did go to this gay club, and the owner, who'd been open for 8 years, and he had actually thought of closing, and the government stepped in, and they said, please don't close. We want you to be open.
Really?
And he said the city is much more tolerant than it's being portrayed, and the people are much more tolerant.
That's good to hear. I'm really happy to hear that. And he has something special planned for the Olympics, a special drag show, and then something special. I didn't realize the G8 Summit is being held there in June or July.
It is, yeah. They have a lot of big events coming up. So they have the Paralympics, they have the G8 Summit, which is the head, those important leaders who could probably use a good drag queen show, honestly.
Yeah.
After a long day of figuring out world policy.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't everybody? Right. So, Andrea, I know that you have no lack of snow there in the Northeast, but we here in California have no snow. It's really going to be a hard year for us, I think. What does the snow situation look like there? Because Sochi itself at sea level, because it's right on the Black Sea, is somewhat tropical, is it not?
Oh, it is. It was balmy, and there were palm trees, and I felt like I was in Fort Lauderdale. And
this is the Winter Olympics.
It is. I know. It's really disconcerting. And when you get up into Krasna Polyana, and that's up in the mountains, and then it feels a little more Vail wintry.
Okay.
But again, it's just within the 8 years that they have just created these ski resorts, which I thought it took a longer time to sort of grow a ski resort.
Yeah.
But high up, they do have snow, but it's not guaranteed. And I know they have multiple backup plans, and they're stockpiling snow just in case.
How do you do that?
I don't know. Get a really big freezer. I don't know.
Right. Well, good thing the Olympics aren't at Squaw Valley this year, because in the Lake Tahoe region, like they were in 1960, I think it was, because there we have nothing.
Really? And you got pounded last year, didn't you?
No, last year was another dry year. I think it was the year before that we got. Thank goodness we had a really wet year. But this calendar year, 2014 or 2013 rather, is the driest on record for, at least for the city that I live in, and I believe for other portions of the state. Here in San Luis Obispo, we had a total of I think it was like 4-point-something inches for the entire year. That's desert levels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I highly recommend. What's that?
Oh, I just wanted to interrupt, but then you get the Middle East is getting snow, so maybe we should have the Winter Olympics in Jerusalem.
Maybe.
I'll throw it out to the committee.
I highly recommend everyone go to the Washington Post and read your article. You just have to search Sochi Andrea Sachs, and it pops up there.
Andrea Sax.
Andre.
For that too.
For the time being. It's called Sochi, a Russian city with Olympic hopes and dreams. And Andrea, so your takeaway from the whole thing is that the city just doesn't really have a soul, but it's pleasant, right? And everything's clean and new.
It is. It's really enjoyable to walk along the Black Sea and to visit the sanitariums. And I think it will get there after the Olympics. It will find itself.
All right, Andrea Sachs, Washington Post. You can find her online at WashPost or WashingtonPost.com or WAPO or something like that.
WashPost.com.
Yeah, there you go.
Washington Post. I don't know. WashingtonPost.com.
Andrea, thank you as always. We love chatting with you.
Oh, you're welcome. Have a great New Year.
Yes, you too. All right, everyone, stick around. We're back in just a moment.